What it is, what it do. It is your boy, the good son, aka the king of self-esteem, coming back with some good conversations so that you can hopefully feel good and be good. Now, I know it's been a while since I last checked in. A lot has happened and it's been happening in the world and in my life personally. I'll share more as the episode goes, but there's just been a lot of anxiety that I've had to deal with. But without further ado, let's get to today's episode titled Purpose: What do you do when nobody cares? Now, we live in a world where everything is measured. There are statistics about everything and anything. Comparisons from century to century, decade to decade, year to year, second to second. I believe I was on Twitter a while ago and I saw some statistics that were comparing the rainfall in 2020 with the rainfall in the 1800s, and I'm like, who even had that information? But that's the power of statistics and information. We live in an information era, and these statistics, they are good. They are good for, especially in finance, in business, weather, and in healthcare. But as the beast of social media has grown, we too have begun to measure and compare ourselves using these similar matrix, these statistics as well. And if you believe everything, that is shared in the documentary, The Social Dilemma, then you also understand that we too have become part of the business model as well. But, back to the topic that I'm trying to get at is that, we live in an era where everything's measured. We have likes, views, interactions, comments. We've become people who have grown to become focused on the algorithm. Everything has become about the algorithm. The clothes that you wear, the friends that you post online, the songs you listen to, the type of food you eat, even your family. If it doesn't add to your algorithm, then it doesn't matter. That is kind of the standard that the social media has set for people these days. Every publicist will tell you that you mustn't post content that does not add benefit to your algorithm, even if it's something that's genuine to you. And it's really sad, but the truth is, this is the world that we are living in. Those who are maximizing the power of the algorithm are becoming, phenomenons, superstars, rich, famous, household names and brands. And this is the world that we're living in a world where, this algorithm is the only thing that matters. It's really hard to be genuine. It's really hard to be authentic because that type of content is no longer supported. That type of content does not work well with the algorithm. Entertainment is the only thing that people really want and the only thing that people really demand. People even prefer reading, gossip and reading blogs more than they prefer hearing the truth from the person or the people that are involved. People prefer hearing what the blogger has to say more than what the actual person has to say about their own lives. The entertainment has become more valuable than the truth. So what do you do if, your message, your content, your purpose, is based on being genuine and authenticity? It's based on truth. Is there a space for you in this world? It's very difficult. Many people say, if you should put the medicine inside of the candy, you should dilute your message. You should, settle a little bit. And I know that too well, as a person who's been part of the arts and entertainment especially. I've written books, I've done poems, I do public speaking. I know all of this too well. And I know, of course, it's important to have a well-packaged presentation. But when you dilute your message too much, when you dilute your purpose too much, it no longer becomes your truth and it no longer serves to satisfy you. I know this personally. And one thing I also know very, very personally as well is that it really, really sucks to feel like you're on the outside, to feel ignored, to feel unwanted. It feels terrible. It's painful. It makes you question your worth. I've felt it before in sports, in relationships, in family, in business. It's a really painful feeling to feel like you are unwanted. So here you are now. You've got this purpose, but you're feeling like nobody cares. You feel like nobody's watching you. You feel like nobody's supporting you. It seems like, you or your product is not growing. What do? Do you abandon your purpose? What do you do when no one seems to be caring? I have a solution to that. I found one. More like a resolve. To those people who have a deep calling, my solution is this: do it anyway. My solution is do it anyway. I'll tell you now, good people, I have missed out on so many opportunities to grow just because I quit too soon. Or even worse, I didn't even start because I figured I wouldn't make it anyway. I look back now with a heart full of sharp, double-edged swords of regret when I look back at all the opportunities of growth that I missed out. Because when you do something you love or something that you believe is beneficial, when you find that purpose, you need to do it. Sure, your purpose helps others, but your purpose is primarily there for you. Your purpose is your source of life. You can live your whole life ignoring your purpose, but you will never be fulfilled. You will have everything else besides fulfillment. That hole will cause you to make a lot of terrible decisions in the attempt of you finding that fulfillment that can only come from you fulfilling your purpose. This is what purpose is about. It's about you. People can come into your life, beautiful people, fun people, loving people, and they can add value to your life. They can even make you happy. But when they leave you, even for that split second that you are by yourself, that emptiness will hit you as hard as a train if you do not follow your purpose. Because your essence will always remind you that you are not living the path that you're supposed to live. So to keep it real, I've personally never really had, a big audience by any stretch of the imagination. But whenever I've decided to step out into the world and share my life, there's always been, either personally or online, some response or someone that has come to thank me for helping them in some way. Now, I'm not saying this to brag or to set an expectation that there'll always be somebody, because in the world of, pop-up notifications, you want to know your impact immediately. If you upload a picture, a video, a status, or you do a presentation, for the first few minutes or first hours, you are tracking to see, the interactions, the likes, the views, the comments. But unfortunately, the truth is that authenticity does not work like that. Purpose does not work like that. Purpose is a seed. Purpose is not a bomb. Purpose is a seed. Purpose is not a bomb. When your message lands in people's hearts, it doesn't grow and expand immediately. It first has to fight for its place in people's hearts and minds. It has to make deep roots in that person's beliefs, preferences, and perceptions. And that's a big fight. And only then can your message begin to live in that person. So it might take, unfortunately, a few days, weeks, months, even years for someone to come back to you and give you a positive response and say, hey, by the way, when you posted that video, that status, or when you gave that presentation that many years ago, it changed my life. But it's only now that I'm brave enough to tell you. I'm sorry. It does take a long time. But I say this out of personal experience. That's why I always try my best, to always come back to people and thank them for their effort and show appreciation for them sacrificing themselves and overcoming themselves to share something positive in the world. So for you, go ahead and do it. Go for what makes you feel good about yourself. Follow your purpose. Do that thing that makes you feel positive. It makes you feel have positive conversations about yourself to yourself. You need to get all your thoughts, all your dreams out of your heart and out of your mind. Because the more you get them out, the more they become sharper, and the more you'll be able to express yourself in a better way, and you'll be more successful at being you, and you will be happier. You will feel lighter. And please remember, this is so important. Like I remind myself every day, this is so important. Please remember that success is measured by happiness, not by anything else. Success is measured by happiness, not by views or money. We all get these other things so that we can become happy. We get money so that we can become happy. We get into relationships so that we can become happy. So if you can be happy by yourself, by you following your purpose, you've taken a shortcut to being happy. You've taken a shortcut to being successful. So do what makes you feel happy and be successful. But yeah, that's it from me for today. Hopefully I'll be able to overcome my anxiety so I can share more content with you next week. And I apologize. I know I'm not perfect. I'm working on a few things. But I really believe that if I share my truth in my own flawed way, I'll definitely grow. But I'll also hopefully help somebody else be more comfortable in their own skin. But until then, let's pray for each other and take care of ourselves. So with that said, much love. Peace.